Welcome to the beautiful Chateau de la Ruche in France. In last week's video, we toured the stunning reception room, beautiful calming bedrooms, huge bathrooms. But this week, we're going to see the unrenovated private areas that Tim and Rebecca live in. From their sitting room to their bedroom, all the way up to the attic, not forgetting the beautifully renovated kitchen, but we'll finish in the darling gift shop in the garden. Going through the private side.
Yes.
We are going to see
the unrenovated, unglamorous side.
But I like seeing that side because some people also realise how much you've done.
Yes. So this is our super glamorous sitting room.
It actually is super glamorous.
So this is the permanently glamorous side of Chateau Life.
And did the rest of the chateau look like this when you moved in?
So this was the kind of state of it. So it was kind of, we kind of felt like it was livable.
Yes.
But a bit unloved. When we moved here, this was the salle à manger, and this room was covered in fabric. All the walls were fabric. But we decided to do all the plumbing and electrics at the same time, so we had to rip all the fabric off. You took everything out.
I can see these are the buttons that they were.
It was all attached
to here.
It was red, quite intense. Not my
full
style.
on. Not your look.
Not my look. But I love the old plaster and the kind of.
I love the fact that you've just put a frame in front of it. I like it.
Yeah, I needed somewhere to put the frame, so I just stuck it. There was a hook, so I stuck it there.
That's good.
But yeah, so it's all very kind of.
I like your wallpaper.
Yeah, I love that wallpaper. I think I'm going to miss that wall because the plan in here is that we will take this wall down, so that it will be more like the salon, which would be the original proportions of the room. But I'm going to miss that wall, and it's shabby chic.
It's lovely.
However, I won't miss the kind of crumbling bits and the bits that fall off every time I open a cupboard. There's a hole up there because we established that there is a chimney there, so we want to get rid of the TV and make a beautiful fireplace there with a big mirror above it, and then I'm going to hide the TV in a cupboard so I don't have to look at it.
And how are you going to arrange the mirror in an alcove?
Well, I think it will have to just go on the front of it. I'm not a massive fan of the kind of faux Roman columns. And they're all crumbling at the bottom, so they may become less of a feature.
Okay.
And we want to find a nice marble fireplace that fits in it, that kind of goes with the other ones.
So then it'll be a flat wall.
A bit flatter, but we'll probably keep the alcove behind it. Yes. And possibly put in a log burner or something so it's a bit warmer. Because we don't really have heating on our side of the house, so winter can be a bit chilly.
So this will still be your private sitting room?
So yeah, this will still be our private sitting room, but we'll take the wall down over there, and there's what would have been original French doors have been turned into a window, so we're going to reinstate them as French doors so that we have kind of our own access outside.
Straight onto the garden.
Yes, and then that end is going to be a library because all of my books are in boxes in the attic still. So 4 years in, I'm still desperate to get them out.
Especially being a writer.
Yes. So it is a bit of a dream to have a library and somewhere to sit.
But I'm sure anyone who's seen Rebecca's Instagram will see it's just the most beautiful descriptions. I mean, the photos are beautiful, but honestly, the descriptions you're just transported here in Chateau Life. It's really beautiful.
Thank you. It's very kind. Very kind. Are you ready for the next level of grim?
Oh, I'm ready. I'm ready for grim.
So this, when we moved in, was the kitchen of.
So many chateaux have tiny modern kitchens put in.
And actually the family that we bought the house from had 9 children, all of whom were grown up, and they would come back here in the summer with their children and their grandchildren, and there'd be like 50 people here, and this space to cook for them. I just think they must have had a lot of barbecues because I don't know how you cater for that many people. So when we initially opened, when we first moved in and we initially opened the chambre d'hôte, this was our kitchen. So this is where I cooked all the meals for guests and everything. And it was so small and it was so tiny.
I think it's a French thing. My French grandmother had a kitchen half the size of this and would just cater for this huge family effortlessly. Most incredible food. I don't know how. No,
and I had a very old kind of gas cooker that was already here, and it was just chaos all the time. But there was never anywhere to put anything. I was balancing plates all over the place. But now, notionally, it is our very grim laundry room,
and will be a very beautiful library
one day. Yes, with views out into the garden.
It'll be stunning.
Yes. So, but at the moment we just live. It's kind of like a laundry room, come storage room, come dog sleeping area. So
everyone needs a room like this.
Yeah.
But now
the chaos happens.
You don't have a tiny kitchen anymore,
no,
do you?
I don't. I have the one room that I've been allowed to renovate in this side of the house.
It's incredible.
So yeah, Tim let me renovate this one because there was a business case for it because we had to cook for guests and everything. So yes,
it's the most stunning kitchen.
Thank you. It had to be done on a really tight budget because it was the beginning of our second year here. There wasn't very much money left at all after we'd done kind of the guest side of the house. And we knew that we needed a proper kitchen so that we could cater for guests properly, and I wanted it to be clean and somewhere slightly nice for us to be because everywhere's a bit grim on our side. But we didn't really have any money, and Tim basically said to me, well, if you can do it for as little as possible, then you can have it. And obviously I was this is supposed to be my forever kitchen, my dream.
Yeah, you don't want to do it on a
tiny budget. But I didn't have a choice, so we had to be very creative. So these two pieces of furniture here were a dresser that was already in the kitchen. So we took it apart and turned it into an island, and this actually...
And it looks better because of it.
Is our fridges.
Oh, that's clever.
So Tim had to do a lot of jigging about, but we've got two fridges in there.
You did that?
Yeah, so he basically deconstructed the whole front of it, and these were drawers originally, and kind of put it all back together and then housed the fridges. He
did an incredible job.
He did a great job.
Because honestly, it makes it look as though you spent a fortune on the kitchen, because it looks as though all of this has been made bespoke.
Yes, but no, well, so just old pieces of furniture and then the world famous piece of granite that we dropped.
On Escape to the Chateau DIY, I'm guessing this is
the infamous
the famous crack.
But it just kind of looks like a seam in the marble.
It does. It totally works. Plus, it's got a story behind it.
Exactly, and I love the story behind it. The cupboard doors all came from eBay, and Tim bought them, and I hated them, and I was like, they're disgusting. And he said, yes, but you want to paint them anyway, so what's the point in buying an expensive wooden kitchen when you're just going to paint them?
Yes.
So we did, and they look
great.
And so it was all just
I'm so impressed.
Put together. And my favourite thing is that cupboard there, which is an old window that we got from Le Bon Coin, and some old vintage wallpaper that I found in a brocante near Chateau de la Lude. This massive basket of old wallpaper, and I was like, oh my god, these are amazing. And I said to Tim, oh, do you think we can get some? Because I'd love they're just beautiful. And he was like, well, you're going to have to ask how much they are. And if we can afford it, then yeah, you can get them. And so I went to the woman with this like armful of stuff, and I was like, how much for the wallpaper? And she looked at me and she was like, €12 for the lot. And I was kind of like, and sometimes my French numbers aren't great, and I was kind of, did she just say 12? Or have I misheard like 200 or something like that? And I kind of looked at Tim and he was like, yeah, that's fine.
We can just about stretch
to €12. So I was like, yes, please. And then she gave the kids like free cars and all sorts. It was brilliant.
And this is one of those wallpapers.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's superb.
So sweet.
Horses and carriages.
Yeah. So just all line drawings, and then it had like old wallpapers, you had to kind of trim the edges off because it didn't print the whole way to the edge. So that was
and that's a nightmare. How do you make it into a straight line? It's so hard.
Yeah, I was very glad that I was only doing the back of the cupboard and
didn't
not
need
a whole
to join the edges.
But yeah, I loved it. That window had been in some lady's back garden for like ages and was really rotten, and she'd obviously put it on Le Bon Coin thinking, oh, maybe I'll get rid of it. And so when we bought it, she was like, what are you going to do with it? And then Tim's like, well, I'm going to turn it into a cupboard. And she couldn't get, we had to send her a picture in the end to say.
Oh, was she happy when she saw it?
Yeah, I think she was quite impressed.
It's really pretty.
Yeah, it's lovely.
Because you've created a modern kitchen, but that looks as though it's always been
there.
here.
So lots of old pieces and just bits and bobs. Then I had to have a chandelier because every other room in the house has a chandelier, and I wanted one in my height.
Yes. Absolutely, and I like these a lot.
Yeah, they're nice. They're just very simple. I'm searching for a big painting or something to go on that wall.
Yeah, painting would be amazing.
Yeah, it would.
I like the framed flower over there.
Yeah, that's one of the bits of our branding, our logo.
Oh!
Yeah, so Angel actually gave that to me.
That's really pretty.
Yeah, it's really pretty.
And who drew the house?
That was done by an illustrator. We did a styled shoot here for weddings, and she'd drawn it as part of the stationery suite. And so I asked if I could have it. So it's
really pretty.
Beautiful. Yeah, we've got lots of people have drawn pictures of the house, and we've got a big collection of them. And we want to, at some point when we get time, frame them all and do kind of a gallery wall up the stairs of all the different pictures, which would be lovely. Because loads of different interpretations of it and everything. It's lovely. It's really sweet.
I think gallery walls are great.
Yeah. I'm very much in love with the Rayburn, mainly because in the winter it's my favourite source.
Everybody sits there.
Yeah, it's kind of the dog, all the cats, and then it's kind of who can get the closest, because it's the kind of warmest spot in the house. But I have a love-hate relationship with it, because it starts off being very romantic and the kind of crackling fire and the logs and everything, and then after about 3 weeks I'm wheelbarrowing logs into the kitchen. It's lost the novelty's worn off, and by April I'm just like, can we just turn it off now? Because
how often do you have to put logs in per day?
About 2 wheelbarrows full of logs a day. So it can,
someone's got to bring all that wood in.
So there's a lot of moving logs around in the winter. It's not a low maintenance form of heating, but it does heat all of the radiators on our side of the house. That's pretty
impressive. So and is it your wood?
Yes. Yeah.
So effectively your heating is free?
Yes. Apart from the labour involved in chopping process.
Not free, is it? And does this take a lot of cleaning as well?
It's not too bad. We clean it every month, which is kind of the recommendation. Lots of people don't, but we do, just because I've spent too much time renovating this house for it to burn down. So we're a bit sticklers for it. We've got our own chimney rods and all that kind of stuff, so we've kind of got it down to a work of art now.
You're a machine.
Yeah, just I have to feed it up there, and Tim's out there with its drill, and it goes all the way up the chimney and out the top.
That's impressive. I love the view in here.
Yes, it's nice to go just to look out on the garden.
Yeah, the flowers straight out of the window. And the window's so low down, you feel you're in the garden.
Yeah, it's lovely. Yeah, the windows was one of the things that we loved about the house, just kind of the size of them and how many there are and the views and everything. It's lovely.
You see this every day around
exactly.
you.
And it's amazing, and it's very difficult not to take it for granted, but I do kind of have moments where I'm just like, I can't imagine living somewhere where when I looked out my window I saw another house, or it's just kind of that, you kind of have to pinch yourself every now and again and just think I'm really fortunate to be here.
Do you find that your Instagram actually makes you see the beauty around you?
Yeah, it definitely does. It makes me think about things, and it makes me much more aware of seasons changing and stuff like that. I'll see something, then it will make me think about it and make me appreciate it more, because you're kind of watching.
Yeah, I felt the same thing through Instagram, but also through YouTube, which is that you see things through other people's eyes, people who don't live in your home every day, and so it forces you to see it afresh and see the beauty.
And then when people comment, it's amazing, what a beautiful place and all that kind of stuff, it makes you kind of think about it and appreciate it. So, do you want to come and have a look at our room upstairs?
I would love to. I'm very nosy.
Yes, it's we have 2 staircases. So there's a back kind of old servant stairs that the children use.
Yes.
And their bedrooms are on that side, and then we're up these ones.
The main stairs.
Yes.
I find these very romantic, and they're so shallow.
They are really shallow and wide, and you can kind of imagine sweeping down in a big frock.
Definitely, but it also feels very old.
Yes, it does, and we don't know much about the history of the house at all. There's nothing left. It's all just a guessing game, and there's kind of a local legend almost that there was another chateau here. So whether these were from that original chateau...
They do feel older, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
Than the facade.
Yeah, so, but we don't know. And they've got kind of these kind of, on the floor down there, there's a big black mark on the tiles. And then up here, there's kind of all this sort of like bubbling of the wood and the varnish, and we wonder whether there was an old furnace or something here, because this was occupied France, so whether during the war there was soldiers staying here and they used it as kind of a crude form of heating and had something
it does look as though there's been some kind of heat damage,
but we have no idea. So but anyway, come up.
So far I've only turned right up here.
Yes, so this is
going left.
We are indeed. Come on in.
The flooring!
Yes, it's beautiful. It's very rickety. We had to take some of it up to put the pipework and electrics and stuff in.
Yes.
But it was already very rickety, and it's kind of propped up on little bits of wood and stuff.
Was this original, or did you put this in?
No, it's original. When we do this room, we will probably have to take it all up and reinforce it all. And
put it all back down again.
Make it slightly less wobbly and rickety, because if you get up in the night, everyone knows that you're up in the night. But
it's just so wonderful. It's so worth saving.
It's beautiful.
I love this room.
Yeah. Lots of character, and it will be brilliant when it's all done.
I like what you've done. You've just decorated, the walls aren't done, doesn't
No.
matter.
No, exactly. Yeah, this was all covered in fabric as well, but we found there's loads of little drawings on the walls and stuff, and over here there's behind this picture, it looks like there's a sketch of a moulding. Yes. So when we come to do this, I want to use this to create the kind of mouldings that go around the ceiling, because that looks
what
like
a great idea.
Original.
I wonder if they were planning that for this room.
Yeah. Or whether some of it had to come down.
Yes, and
maybe,
they
kept that as a drawing of the kind of profile of it. So, because it looks fairly similar to the one in the salon, the sort of stepped bits of it. So.
What a discovery under the fabric. And what was the fabric like in this room?
It was just yellow. It was just a plain kind of yellow, fairly modern, but it made everywhere feel a lot less rustic. It was slightly less crumbly, but we couldn't see any of these panels.
Oh, it went over the panel?
Yeah, it was over the panel, so just around the door, for instance, you can still see it's still got all the staples on.
Yes.
So this was all covered. So then we found all of this. We could see the bottom panels, but not these big ones above the doors. So unfortunately, this was where the sort of 1950s electrics had been hacked into the plaster.
Yeah.
So we'll have to do a bit of repair work there, but I want to keep those.
This is exactly what my room looked like when I took the fabric off as well. Just the same kind of boarding on top of it. Do you think you'll ever have fabric in here again, or will you?
I don't know. It's tempting because obviously it'd be a lot easier just to put, well, in theory.
If you can find someone to do it. Maybe you'd be great at it.
I don't know. I don't know if I've got the patience. It must take forever. It's weird because it's our room. I can't picture it yet. I haven't worked out how I want it to be. My mind changes all the time. But it's quite nice doing all the other bits first, and then this should be, by the time I get to it, perfect.
And exactly what you want.
Yeah.
Also, it means that whenever you see something really beautiful, you can think, oh, that could be for my room.
Yeah, exactly. I love having the big windows and being able to see out. And I'm terrible at shutting the shutters because I quite like to kind of wake up and be able to see out.
I love the railings that you have in the main rooms.
They're lovely.
They're stunning.
Really sweet.
So I can see that it's the back of the two cherubim. Is it their faces on the outside?
I don't know. Do you know what? I've never looked. I don't actually know if you can see their faces.
A little look.
Yeah, they have got faces.
They have.
They have got faces.
They're looking pretty cheerful.
I do. Very sweet.
They are very cute. And do you know what this hatch in the wall is for?
Well, it's funny because if you go outside onto that corridor, there's a door there that's the same as the other ones. But obviously there's either never been a door there because it just has this fake back on it, but the bathroom that you're staying in
also has
originally
that door.
had that door there, and that was the entrance to the room until we found the one that was hidden in the panelling. So someone in the past, like me, liked symmetry. So in the salon we had two fake doors as well. So whether this was just a fake door or whether it once opened, don't know.
But no need to have a door there.
No, exactly.
Can you tell me more about the art?
So these are paper cuts by a British artist called Rob Ryan. I really like them because it's words and pictures. They all have beautiful words. These are laser cuts made from the originals. So the originals he does using a scalpel and cuts it all out of paper. And then some of the others are prints of the
others.
Cuts. Yeah.
It's so delicate.
Yeah, I love it. Tim bought me that one when we got married as my
one?
Yes. So we've got a collection. I think we've got a couple more. So we've got a few more. Yeah, they're lovely.
Is he quite a romantic?
Sometimes. I think he likes to pretend that he isn't, but maybe.
Come on, it must be. suddenly popped his head around the corner.
Are you romantic too? No.
I don't believe you. Did you have the armoire before? Did you find that?
The armoire was left here. So when we bought the house, the family gave us a choice. They could either take everything or they could leave everything. So they took a few things. We obviously chose leave everything. So they took a few things that were kind of very personal to them or that had sentimental value, and then left us everything else. So we spent the first kind of month really going through cupboards, and
quite exciting.
It was really good. The mirror's gone from that one.
Great.
So we need to replace it, but it's very ornate, that one.
Yeah.
It's a bit too ornate for me, but
it's much darker than most of the furniture that you go for.
Yeah, definitely, it's very dark. So, but currently that's where all my clothes are. So.
Where do you get your inspiration from? How would you describe your aesthetic?
I don't really know. I I get asked this a lot, but I think it's kind of the house itself and the rooms and the feel of them and how I want people to feel when they're in them. I always want it to feel quite calm and quite relaxing, and I don't ever want people to feel kind of stressed by the decor and stuff, and I don't like it to be too kind of in your face or fussy and cluttered and things. So it's quite, not completely pared back, but quite...
It is, no, you've definitely succeeded. It's the calmest space. I slept so well last night.
Good, I'm glad. Yeah, so yeah, just that, and the colours kind of come from the house and outside and all that kind of stuff.
You have a lot of blues.
Yes, I love blue. Blue's just, I find it, I really love the sky. You can see a lot of sky from in this house because the window's so big, so I kind of want to bring that in.
Keep to bring it in.
Yeah.
And the green, so the blue and green wallpaper in my bedroom is amazing. That's designer's girl,
yes,
isn't it?
It is. Yeah, so this is our bedroom.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's
One
gonna be
day
amazing.
it will be glamorous and done like
The thing is, weirdly, you've managed to make it glamorous, even like this.
Do you want to see the top floor?
Yes.
The very much unrenovated bit?
Yes,
Yeah,
definitely.
come on up. Yeah, so this gives you a very good kind of before and after, I always say to people, because this was kind of how it all looked before.
So you had to take that wallpaper off everywhere.
Yeah, so this, the whole way through this, the hall and
What
the
a
wet
job.
stairs. It's got tiny threads in it and then it's gloss painted on top. It's kind of almost like a fabric.
Yeah.
They used it because obviously behind it the walls were crumbling.
I was going to say, what on earth did you find when you took it off?
They're very crumbly walls, but the thing was we couldn't afford to have someone come in and plaster it. We didn't want to plasterboard it because we've got all these little mouldings and things, and if we'd have put plasterboard on we would have lost some of the mouldings.
Yes.
So we had a French plumber and a French electrician here. They were kind of here for 4 months on and off doing the whole thing. And the electrician, Jean, was very sweet. So he taught me how to patch the plaster. And then he'd give me marks out of 4. Depending
Out of 4?
Because they're the French school marks or something. They're
That's so random. Why 4?
I don't know. And so, he would come in and kind of peer over my shoulder and then give me a mark.
So you patched the walls?
We did, yeah. So we all kind of learnt to do it and patched the walls.
So impressive.
And did it. But we kind of say now we wanted to keep the texture. We didn't want them to be perfect was our thing. So we wanted to keep the aged texture, which worked very well in our favour of our not very good patch plastering.
They look great. Come on, they look amazing.
But yeah, it took forever, and then there was a lot of sanding and then a lot of painting.
Yeah.
It was a big job. And I think part of the reason why this hasn't been done is that we're a bit traumatised about it.
Oh yeah, since having done all of that.
Yeah, and I think we'll have to do it at a time when we're not expecting anyone to visit for a while because it's going to take a long time.
Yeah.
So these are incredibly wonky stairs. So come on up, but you do feel slightly drunk by the time you get to the top. They get more and more twisted as you go around.
Oh, the door!
Yes. It feels to me like it belongs on a ship. I don't know why.
To me, it feels like a fairy tale door.
Yeah.
What lies behind the door?
Nothing.
Lovely flooring in there.
So we have the Temet tiles the whole way up through the whole house. And then this is just kind of a higgledy-piggledy random collection of rooms that are in various states of disarray. So
this one's not in a state of disarray.
Well, this is the one that my poor parents get relegated to when they come to stay. They're not allowed in the last bit.
Lovely choice of wallpaper you've gone for here.
Beautiful, beautiful. We don't think any of these rooms are original. Most of the walls are kind of board walls, and I think they just put rooms up here to accommodate more children. So I think when we come to do work up here, we will just take everything out and see
back to scratch and then put the walls where you want them. Actually, this is a lovely big room, and the views are
they're lovely
gorgeous.
Rooms, lovely views. My mum's made random curtains so that she can have a bit of darkness, but yeah, it's lovely to see out into the garden and everything. But yeah, so this is slightly less glamorous.
And it's really tall under the eaves.
Still, the roof, the pitch on the roof is really quite big. And then this room is incredibly unglamorous because the children use it as their den.
What a great den.
They spent quite a lot of the first confinement up here, like creating mess, and which is still here, creating mess. We'd like to put maybe 4 rooms up here, maybe, but we we keep changing our minds.
And what do you think you'll use them for?
Well, we notionally would like to use them for more guest rooms, but less for chambre d'hôte, more for if people wanted to come as a big group and have a weekend away with the whole family. So there's more space. We do slow living, floral and photography retreats, those kind of things. So lots of picking flowers, arranging flowers, photography, and beautiful kind of creative.
It's a very creative space.
Yeah.
Being surrounded by nature like this. And honestly, because of the beauty of the rooms that you've decorated.
That's very kind.
It's true, it's very inspirational.
Well, my kind of little atelier is in the next bit, and I really love that space.
Do we get to see your atelier?
Yes.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. You have all the chandeliers.
All the chandeliers. There were more chandeliers in here last weekend, but we put lots of them up in the gîte because this is where I put them when I collect them. So I have a slight chandelier problem.
That's not a problem, no.
No, if I see them for a good price, I struggle not to buy them. But it's kind of fine because I have places for them to go.
I'm really impressed with them. They're gorgeous. And the chairs as well. Are you upholstering these chairs?
So yeah, I've done that one. That one's the finished one.
Gorgeous.
And they were covered in the kind of... actually, I think it would have been lovely when it was new, like a beautiful green velvet. But it's all obviously faded and got
because the colour on the back's really nice.
Lovely. But so they're stripped off and then we're going to reupholster.
The toile de jouy looks amazing.
Yes, it's lovely. Yeah, so I've been making cushions and upholstering chairs and all sorts in here for the gîte that we've been working on.
Are these going into the gîte?
Yes, that one's going into the gîte at some point. I haven't quite decided where yet, but yeah.
Is that the colours? Does it give a hint at the colour scheme?
So the salon area is kind of pinky, reddy kind of colours.
Yes.
The walls are all very white in there because we wanted it to be very light. But then I'm bringing colour in with all the fabrics and everything. So there's this one and then some kind of old florals and
what gorgeous mixture.
Yeah, and then a slightly redder and waiting for it to rise
beautiful
striping.
fabric as well.
Yeah, they're lovely. Really pretty.
I love this combination.
Yeah, it's very sweet.
And how do you decide on your fabrics? How do you put them together like this?
To kind of just what I like. I don't really have a method or anything, and I it's really difficult because I love fabric. When I was 15, I had a Saturday job working in kind of a needlecraft shop. And my favourite job, we used to sell fat quarters for people to do quilting with.
Yes.
And we used to have them all in these big drawers. And my favourite job was if people had been in and making a mess of them, because I was allowed to reorder them and put them all in kind of shade patterns. And I just found it was so lovely. And I spent most of my wages every week I'd come home with like wadges of fabric because I'd see something that I'd fall in love with and just come home. And I've still got loads of them that I've never used them for anything.
You just have them.
You
can look at them.
Yeah. I've always really liked colours, and then some of the bedrooms we've got kind of blues and florals and a few bits that I had left over from other things. So I try to use them up.
I love this space.
Yeah, it's a really nice.
Oh wow. Oh, yeah. You've got a chaise with a swan on it.
Yes, I found that it was in an absolutely disgusting state. In a brocante. I think it had been in somebody's kitchen, so it was very greasy and covered in like crumbs, but it meant that it was very cheap. So, and it was varnished and it was quite orange. Yeah. And I just thought, actually, I really love the swans, and so I thought, well, let's see what happens, and stripped it all off and stripped it all down.
It's amazing. It looks so good.
It looks good.
So do you spend a lot of time up here?
When I'm sewing, I do. I really like it. It is a really nice kind of space to be. I think if I got round to writing my book, I'd quite like to do it up here.
Up here?
Yeah. And I can hide up here and no one knows where I am.
It's so peaceful.
Yeah.
You've got a den.
I have. And actually, when you can open the window and then you can just hear birds and you can smell the lime trees, and it's just lovely. It's nice. And chandeliers.
I think chandeliers themselves are completely inspirational.
Exactly.
Everyone needs a chandelier for inspiration.
Sparkly.
And there's another bedroom.
Yes, this one looks slightly more better. This is where I've been collecting all the stuff for the gîte. It was full of everything, but yeah, so...
It's amazing how big it is up here.
Yeah, there's lots of space, and then there's another whole bit that's full of boxes of books and stuff. It was absolute chaos, but my mum and I had a big tidy up because it was stressing her out. So.
It's weird how storage is quite hard in a chateau.
Yeah, because you'd think there's so many rooms and there's so much space, but actually there's never any storage anywhere.
No storage.
Because I think they're not designed to be lived that way, maybe.
No.
I don't know. So there's big dark corners and where all the boxes are hidden in. This is the main bit of the house, the main roof, and then there's that wing there, and then behind there's a really grim bathroom just there, and then there's a whole other.
Can we see the grim bathroom? Oh, let's see the grim bathroom.
But it's more like the bathrooms that were here when we came to the house.
It shows what you've done.
It's like something out of a horror film. Are you ready?
I'm ready for this.
I can't find the light switch now. Where is it? Here it is, ready?
Oh,
Isn't that glamorous?
Love it.
This is a bit like our bathroom.
That is grim. I think my favourite bit are the little plastic hooks.
It's special. It's definitely special. And the kind of lino on the walls.
That's a very small bath.
Yeah. Our shower is in a bath like that, and it's that kind of size. And we both had really horrible colds one year. And it was the middle of winter and we're both feeling absolutely dreadful, and that's basically the only bath that we had access to. And you know when you've got cold and you just want to be warm and soaked. And I ran this bath and I was kind of like this, going, I will feel better in this tiny bath. So yeah.
I think it's great to see this because then everyone can see how you've transformed things.
It's very glamorous, this whole chateau lot.
I don't think people realise just how unglamorous it is at the beginning.
But yeah, that was typical.
Of everything was like
it's
that.
of the house, to be fair. That kind of that's the standard of the house.
That was the aesthetic.
It's amazing what you've done.
It's very kind.
Amazing. But that's what makes it your home somehow, isn't it?
Exactly.
That going through
and the
all
memories.
Of that. I have absolutely loved seeing these areas. I think as much as seeing the side that's finished, because it just shows how much creativity you're still going to need to finish, but how many fun projects there are.
Yeah.
No, it's lovely. I think it would be a little bit boring to be in a house where everything's done.
Yes.
Nothing to change.
Well, then we'd have to buy another one.
And we're an awful long way from that, Stephanie.
Yeah. Me too. A really long way.
Another lifetime. The children can finish it, I think.
Thank you so much for showing us all of this. Yeah. But before we end the video, can we exit via the gift shop, please?
You can. Indeed. Let's go. There's more chandeliers in there too.
Ooh.
As you can just see over there is the Jeep we've been working on for the last, I don't know, 18 months now. It's much longer
more than
project
18 months, more than 18 months.
Yeah, we can't show that to you because it's being kept under wraps, but I'm going to be revealing a few little bits of it soon.
Okay, so watch Rebecca's Instagram for the Jeep reveal.
Yeah.
Nearly finished.
Nearly finished.
I had a little peek and it's amazing.
But yeah, the shop's this way, come this way.
Do you find that the shop works well when you have guests?
It does, for the ones that know about it. I always feel slightly awkward going, do you know we've got a shop?
Yeah, but I think for most people it's quite nice, isn't it?
So some of them really love it. The difficulty is it was on TV and people kind of knew about it, and then COVID happened, so it hasn't really had its full season.
Yeah, this is one of the last
it's
things
really
we did.
Pretty.
Yeah.
So
this is an old aviary, and we just decided to turn it into a shop. It's not very big, can't get very many people in.
Oh, it's lovely.
Yeah, so just a few kind of antique-y bits, and then a few kind of very French kind of market baskets, and then lots of the things that we have around the chateau. So the table linens that we use, and then we always have cosy blankets everywhere. And
I love the blankets.
And the candles.
I've been using the blankets.
They're lovely. And candles and everything. And then just a few antique bits and pieces that we've picked up that and chandeliers, obviously, in case someone wants to take one home.
It's a really good idea.
Yeah.
And then people can take a little bit of La Ruche back with them. Do you have, so your candles.
Yeah, candles. And then in the winter we do, for our guests, we do a turn down in the evenings, and then we pop a little hot water bottle in their bed for them.
Oh, are these the hot water? You know how obsessed I am with hot water bottles.
And so, my mum knits all the little covers for them, and then they all have little labels on, Chateau Diaries labels.
Well, she's really talented.
Yeah, she loves it. She loves it. So they're very popular.
I like the things that you've chosen.
Yeah.
Oh,
but I'm terrible at it though, because I would make the worst antiques salesperson, because I buy things and then I can't bear to let them go. So I'm just kind of like, oh, do you want to buy that, do you? Mm-hmm.
I like that.
Sure. Yeah. It looks really pretty, please don't buy anything. So I'm not that good at it as a salesperson.
It's gorgeous, and it's a really good idea.
Yeah, it's sweet.
And how much land do you have here?
We have 6 hectares, so what's that, 15 acres?
Yes.
Yeah, so a lot of it is woodland and
Trees, the trees are breathtaking.
lots of trees. They're
Yeah, and so
beautiful.
mature.
Yeah, and then we have a farmyard and everything over that side. So.
And then we have a farmyard.
and a bar.
Thank you so much. Honestly, I have loved being here, and I'm so happy to have shared this place with you all.
Yeah.
It is magical. You've created a little magical place in the middle of France.
Thank you very much, and thank you for coming. It's been lovely to have you all
Yeah.
and meet everybody, hasn't it? It's
Yeah,
been
it's
really
been
Yeah,
nice.
it's been great.
Long time coming.
Yeah, and there's so much to chat about because we go through all the same problems, I think, in chateaus. Yeah.
Fun, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's
it's
been great.
always good to meet other people who get it.
Yeah, it's the same pain. Living the dream.
The craziness of it always.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Well, we better go and get ready for the party
We
tonight now.
should, yes.
Yeah.
I've got some cooking to do and some tables to decorate.
I got the table. I've done the functional bit.
Good,
I'm going
well
to make
done.
fire.
Yes. And we'll do flowers. Perfect.
A huge thank you to all of our patrons at Lalande who are making this vlog possible, especially our Dauphin and Dauphine of Lalande, Yedland, Ether, Alice, Allen, Dan Bander, Wailing Banshee, Brian Bernard, Brandon and John Michael, Cecilia Begum, Denise Behrens, Danelle Benakovich, Jill Bidwell, Candice Blackburn, Candice Ned Borkowski, Clara Butcher, Paolina Calabro, Chloe Chalikani, Lindsay C. Chelton, Stephen Sarah Cole, Linda Sue Concepcion, Erin Conklin, Zoe Dork, Sylvia Dems, Jim Demersman and Richard Patternord, Sakura Dennis, Zane Dixon, Jackie Ellison, Nicholas W. Fairfax, Tracy Ferrari, Caroline First, Kevin Fossum, Fifi Greenberg, Crystal Hardy, Brenda Harris, Delane Holbrook, Kim Hasselhoff, David and Tong Henderson, Jacqueline Holmes and Ken Bates, Priscilla Hubler, Sandra Hawley, Melissa Jansen, Brian Kelsey and Phil Byrne, Jimmy Kemp, Nadia Kennedy, Lisa LaForge, Dave and Summer Lalande, Morgan Lawley, Angel Leonard, Victoria Lepine, Janet Huff Lombard, Marina, Frank Martin, Meredith, Robert Miller, Joanne Morton, Karen Nicholson, Kathy Norrie, JC Award, Maureen Palmer, Wendy Piatek, Frank Poposky and James Snow, Tamara Price, Amin Rahman, Tonya Renee, RJB, Bettina Rojek, Hanny Ross, Mary Ryan, Elizabeth Scanlon, Sven Schreiber, Lisa Schultz, Jennifer Shanks, Rebecca Shorrock, Carl and Laurie Siebert, Teresa Sloan, Patty Suhu, Susan Stevens, Monty Stapora, Sabrina Surratt, Anne the Leaf House, Sarah Thornton, Colleen Troyer, Renee Valelli, Victoria, Jessica Walker, Randy Walton, Laura Watkins, Lucas Wallen, James Whalen, Cheryl Whitaker, Linda Veast, Christine Wilson, Winnie de la Cockapoo, Greg Wood, David Young and Lodovicos Ordinazzo. And thank you to all of you.